My buddy's waiting for me here at the door this morning. He greets me with a meow. Hey, Mart. Hi. He goes, I'm waiting, Mama, but I'm not super patient about it. And then when I talk to Marty, she gets jealous. She was starting her morning cardboard chew. I'm sure she'll go back to it. You know what today is?
Yeah, happy anniversary, sweetie.
It's 5 official years.
5 official, yeah.
It feels like a lot longer in a really positive way.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
5
I love
years
you.
flown by. Yeah.
Yay for all the kitties being here. And Ruby too. It's Thursday. I wish it was Friday. And there's the rest of my crew over here. Good kitties, aren't you? Good kitties. Hi, Mart. Oh, wow. Ruby's getting wheel service this morning.
Well,
it didn't rain on her yesterday.
It didn't rain on her yesterday.
Yep.
So that's 2 days of brake test.
And you know, with the safety score, just so you know, I'm using the brake pedal hardly at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I am being so careful. You guys ready for breakfast? All right. Mama's coming. Big stretch. Wow, I can tell he did the California duster. The black roof panels on top aren't dusty anymore. Looks good. Oh, and he put Tux up here for me. I don't drive with him up there though. Good morning, Ruby. Well, gas is 3:05 at the Sheets this morning. Got a school bus in front of me and a dump truck beside me. It's starting off to be a fine day. Well, it's 70 degrees out there. Really thick traffic, annoying traffic this morning, and really thick gray clouds too. I think we've got like a 40% chance of rain, so I don't know if it's actually going to rain or if we're just going to, you know, look like we're going to rain again today. It's hard to say. We're in Garner now, about the halfway point at 7-Eleven. Maybe just a tad over halfway. Well, Ruby ought to be going to daylight mode here anytime now. Downtown's kind of interesting this morning since it's so much darker and things are still lit up, but I look forward to when they turn the BB&T building green and light the spire up a little more, the RBC spire up a little bit more for the holidays. The FNB building used to have some lights on it in the morning. It's kind of more lit up, will be more lit up for the holidays too, I think. Yeah, see? That's what she does when she goes into daylight mode. She redraws the map and everything. So they rolled out the safety score update to Android users last night. Don was able to install it on his phone and see his safety score there. So on top of him being able to see it in Tesla Fi, if he wanted to do it on his own, he can now see it on his phone just like I can. Don's got a Pixel 3a, I've got an iPhone 10. And so that was pretty cool. That was good. I am still holding on to a 99. Yesterday's score was 100, but I am not cocky about it. I am really having to be super careful. Like the turn off Main Street onto the road that leads down to the house. Normally folks take that at a 35 mile an hour and you don't slow down much. It's a wide curve, so you're not forced to slow like a sharper right. And that's one of the spots, sometimes I would sort of soar into the environmental park, but not doing that right now. I'm just really being careful. I'm like petrified of those stops. Well, that's a slight exaggeration, but I am very anxious about the stops on 401 where I have to slow down from 55 mile an hour or 45 mile an hour to a complete stop to wait for the light. There's just, if you're going, please go. I've stopped for you. Are you headed? Thank you. I notice oftentimes folks, he stopped to say something to that other person. I get it. I could have easily been caught up in something like that too. But sometimes people come to the crosswalk with no intention of crossing and they just kind of stand there, and it's like, well, maybe move a few feet out of the crosswalk so drivers that are trying to do the right thing aren't confused for you. It's not a good place to stop and just hang, and then they'll wave you on, and then they'll still stay standing there for the next driver. It's like, yeah, probably not good. I'm always, I guess, glad to get out of that congestion. Once I leave the school in the morning, things get better for most of the way home. I just see everybody else coming inbound. With us leaving 10, even 15 minutes later than we had been, I keep trying to tell Johnny that makes a significant uptick in the number of people we share the road with. I would really like to get back to leaving firmly at 7:30 again. So when we go under that overpass and past those murals, this is Shaw University on the south side of town. Like I said before, there's quite a few university campuses. There's St. Mary's, and there's NC State, and St. Augustine's, and Shaw, and probably another one that I'm missing. But within a very small radius, there are four colleges, universities. This road here, since I started driving downtown when Johnny was in the 7th grade, and he's now in the 11th, so 4 years ago, this street right here, they have really remodeled or torn down and rebuilt a bunch of the houses. I'm driving there, and I really feathered it down, keeping my foot sort of on the accelerator, but not really on the accelerator to come to that nice gradual stop. Yeah, that's the traffic I'm glad I'm not in. Very glad. Don was helping me do a couple of chores before we took off. Inside the garage. I got this little problem.
What's that little problem you got?
I hid your anniversary present. I can't find it. But I'm gonna find it. But it wasn't in the place I thought it was. I hid it one day because he was around.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, I'll just shove it here.
Yeah, it was my fault.
Well, of course it was your fault. Not.
You don't even get to take off on your anniversary. You gotta do it. You gotta do walks.
I've got one more good idea about where to look, and then after that I'm gonna really be having to think on it hard. But I got one more idea. It's gotta be really close to where I came in the house. It can't be like, yeah. Well, they're out there this morning, but they've only got 3, not the normal 6.
Keep slacking off.
Wait, Don and I have felt a raindrop. It's supposed to rain light while we're on the trail and not last long. So that might be the only drop we feel. And they're out here collecting the trash and talking about starting to blow. Gosh, please let us do our 2 more laps before the blower starts, please. All right, we just did scoreboard to scoreboard. That's our 3rd run.
Yeah.
3rd interval. We'll call them an interval.
Yeah.
It is quite pleasant out here. There's a little breeze. There's no noise on the trail. The sun's not out, not too bright. Like it, you know, a little cooler, but I'm finding it peaceful. Just walking along when I'm not videoing and listening to the rhythm of our feet.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Well, maybe I'm squeaking. I don't think you're squeaking. I think this was Don's very first Tesla shirt. He wore it when he stood in line to put in the reservation for the Model 3.
That's in March of 2016.
Yeah.
March 31st. All right, so 48.
It sucks needing reading glasses.
46 minutes, 48 seconds, 5,528 steps, 2.64 miles.
2.64 miles.
And 1740 per mile.
1740 per mile. Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm standing here.
Yeah.
Heart rate's going down.
Yeah, you go, girl. I'll see you back in.
All right, love you. Kiss, kiss. Although I never have to worry going up this hill, get it right back up. Well, that's a pleasant sight to see. I haven't seen our friend's Model 3 in several weeks. Well, it is a nice day here. The breeze is making it pleasant to be out. Don and I'll have to do the woods one day soon. I hope there won't be any issues. I got to go, guys. Well, I just had my first early collision warning. Now I have it set to early, not medium, and I was on autopilot. But a car came out from the right onto 401 just long enough to go up to the next turn in. And Ruby alerted and marked the car red and everything. So we'll see if I get dinged for that. Ruby started to slow, and then as soon as the car was out of the way, I started to accelerate because I didn't want her to slow down that much. We'll see if we, you have no way of knowing exactly which driving event got you a ding. But if I feel like everything else goes good on the way in or the way out, we'll have to see. But again, I was on autopilot, so technically we're not supposed to get dinged for autopilot stuff. Yeah, right. First off, I was nowhere near the car, let's be clear. Well, other than a few sprinkles, we haven't had any rain. It's 78 out there. I suspect we'll see a few more sprinkles. I didn't get a chance to work on my Lego project at the house. I hunted for Dawn's gift, and I hunted some more. I went up in the attic and I broke down a bunch of empty Lego boxes, ones that came from the Lego store or Amazon, or authentic original Lego boxes. The consensus seems to be on the forums that if you're going to save them, because sometimes people sell them or want empty Lego boxes, it's okay to cut the tape and store them flat. And mine were still not flat and falling over, and I didn't want them to get damaged. And so I cut them open and I consolidated all of the books in one storage bin. And I do have a small donation for Guardian Angel that I loaded up in my car. Because, pretty soon around the corner, it's going to be time to bring out the Christmas stuff. And I've got to be able to safely get up and down the attic stairs. And, I've got a lot of stuff, but I'm really good at organization. So I had to spend a little time on the organization side of the house. And then I had some administrivia, paperwork, forms, family business stuff I had to do on my computer. And I managed not to get frustrated and to get it done in the allotted time, but it just didn't leave me enough time left to to work on my Lego house. And the rest of the night is going to be pretty busy too. Taekwondo amongst a few other chores. So I don't know that I'll be on it today, but that's okay. It's there to have fun with when I have time to work on it. Johnny's gonna happy with me. I'm on target to get to the school at 2:11, and that's right. He ought to be already waiting for me there by the guard, the security entrance. Well, if I don't have some dings on today's drive home from Raleigh, I will be really surprised. Yeah, we drove out a different way because we saw a Cadillac we wanted to see. I think it was a 1965. It's very similar to the one that I had in high school. And then as we were coming out of town past a school with a off-duty police officer directing traffic, they had some cones up to give right away to people leaving the school out onto the road, which I'm not sure how they get away with putting cones in the middle of a 2-lane road. But anyway, a pickup truck was exiting, and he was so large he really couldn't make the turn without just coming right up to the cones, and that was right when I was coming past. I thought he was gonna knock the cones over. That's how close it was. So that startled me pretty bad, and I braked probably too much for Ruby's score. And then we were just past that, and there was a car in the lane to my right because we had to get left going past the school, and they drifted over the line toward me, and I had well, first I braked, and then they looked like they really weren't paying attention. So as soon as I got a couple feet in the other direction, I flew past them because I just wanted to get away from it. So I am really, 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 really ready to be out of the city this afternoon. No more all this defensive driving is wearing me out. Ruby got sprinkled on for about the 3rd time today, but the ground's not wet. She really doesn't look bad. Johnny's at Taekwondo, and you guessed it, I'm going into Walmart. But you know, the last 3 times I've been in, they've had a whole bunch of new toys to put out. They just haven't had Hot Wheels, and they've been different toys every time too. It's not like it's just been the same stuff sitting on the aisle, so I guess it can't hurt to go look. Well, the Christmas trees have been in the outer part of the garden center for a couple of weeks, but now they are putting the rest of the stuff inside here. See? And all the boxes out there. Wow. Here it comes. They sold almost all of them, and Michelle needs one. Well, since I'm driving like Grandma right now anyway, I think he'll be safe in there with the blanket, not roll around. He's about just the right size until I can get him to Michelle. Maybe tomorrow. Are you helping?
Yeah, she's helping.
She's trying to help. So, as far as I know, the Ring people didn't get back to me, but maybe it's in my spam folder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Tesla Ring people.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I had for you that was excited about, Michelle and I, she helped me rack my brain on messages, and I don't know what I did with it. We had one really good almost. There was like a Lego bin near where I thought I hit it. That wasn't one of my normal bins, and yeah, I bumped the refrigerator, and that it wasn't in there. But I do have a couple of small things I'm very distressed about. I mean, it's in the house and it's safe.
Yeah.
I just hid it so well from you because the box is obvious what it is.
Then to give it to me next year.
No, when I find it, it's coming. So you got a couple of things. I was so distressed today of looking I didn't wrap, but you know, that's a good enough wrapping paper for a guy.
Yeah, this feels like a t-shirt.
I've never given you a t-shirt for any occasion before, ever.
Ever. Oh, it's another one of my fancy t-shirts. It says, "We can't rely on dead dinosaurs forever." Oh, is it that? Right.
It's a shirt from Now You Know.
Now you know.
Yes, and the dead dinosaur fossil fuels.
That's way cool.
And it reminded me of Fred Flintstone. And it's long sleeve, so you have, because you only have like 1 or 2 long sleeve Tesla shirts.
That's right. I recognize this box.
Yeah, that box is probably really what it is.
Really? You didn't get this off of my workbench out in the garage?
Nope.
It's a Frisbee.
It is a Frisbee. Now hold it up. It's not just any Frisbee. It's Ruby's Frisbee.
That's right.
That's right.
It says test box.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Describing. Oh, sunglasses. I'll look real cool in those.
I don't.
A water bottle?
With test box on it. An advertisement for test box. There were some people that were not happy about that being in the box.
Okay.
I assume it's a towel, like a water absorbing, like a clean the car towel.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's waffle weave, sort of. I think it's like a chamois, if I had to guess. Is that what it is? Or maybe it's a cool towel. That's cool what it is. I remember watching Casey Green, when he reviewed this. It's a cool towel. So when you go, next time you go down the river and you need to keep your neck cool or not sunburnt, you have it's not a scarf, it's a cool towel. If I make you walk when it's 100 out, you can wet it and bring it on the walk. Don's like, you be walking by yourself, girl.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, I got a thing that says 99 or less. Elon
Musk, it's a head.
It's a head.
It's one of those deodorizer things. Smell it. I bet it smells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is that the last of it?
Yeah, that's all there is.
Well, I was kind of excited about the Frisbee. I have to say, I was kind of excited about the Frisbee. The Model X wings on the Frisbee.
Me and my bud. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. We're having meatballs for dinner. They're cooking. The oven's preheated now. Yay!
Yay.